24 years ago today, guys, I was sitting in my third hour class watching all the chaos on TV, utter flipping chaos. Guys got to think 1941, Pearl Harbor probably took a little bit. I mean, the attack had already happened by the time the president found out, it was going on. Wasn't like everyone had cell phones and instant access to things like they did in 2001. Talk shows were going on, all sorts of things, especially in New York City. Of course, what I'm talking to is the attacks on the United States and freedom on September 11th in 2001. I was a senior in high school. I remember being in gym class in second hour, that's what we call it. And people started coming in and saying, hey man, the World Trade Center got bombed. The World Trade Center got bombed. And the World Trade Center had been bombed before. And it's nuts to me. And I remember the Oklahoma City bombing. Was that like Timothy McVeigh? I can't remember, guys. I'm not trying to give bombers or terrorists any kind of name, but it just stuck with me because I was young then, and I just remember all the sights. And then the 9/11, the people jumping out of buildings, and this was real. The smoke, people running, and the smoke engulfing people, and as they're running away, the firefighters and the officers running towards it, and just a really scary time. I mean, a lot of us guys are, especially me as a senior, I'm an only child, and it's just thinking, wow, is it going to come? All I've known really is freedom my whole life. Is this going to come down to defending our country? And I'm not that guy that that would ever want to sign up for the Army, guys. I am so proud of our military. It takes a special person, okay? Not everybody's a chef. Not everybody's a quarterback. Not everybody's an overweight guy with glasses talking to you right now. So just, you're lucky, I guess. So just remember going from that second hour gym class into third hour which with math, and the television was on. Okay. All the people talking, in the halls, and we got there, and the second plane flew into the second tower. And then we heard about the Pentagon, and just our life all changed right then. A lot for the worse, because there was so much innocence that was finally just blasted out. There was a lot of loss of life, guys, American life. American soil was attacked. But the good that came out of that was, I had never seen so much patriotism. It was like we had flashed back into the 50s. Every flag that was available was flown. You couldn't go down the street without seeing flags everywhere, posted everywhere, hanging out of cars, driving down the street, Bible cells out the roof. We were a proud country. We are a proud country. This shit's got to stop. This anger. I mean, George Washington warned us of political parties and foreign, all this stuff, but in his farewell address, we don't listen to that. But guys, overall, we are Americans. And the stuff that's going on, it's not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's terrorism. Okay? Some of you are younger, or were younger when 2001 happened, and 9/11 and September 11th. This is what terrorism looks like. Regardless of what you think of anything, whether it's, Kirk, or whether it's people on The View, or whatever it is, they, Hate speech is one thing, guys, and I understand. But the First Amendment, over every amendment, is not something to be trampled on. I'm a firm believer in the Constitution. Okay? That's that. For any president, for any body of government. Because I love American history, and since, for a very, very long time, since we declared our independence, we've been free. But you know the saying, united they stand, divided they fall. We cannot allow terrorists, both domestic and abroad, to control the way that we feel. The tension and the heat has been so high for a decade, it feels. Maybe even more. Maybe I'm just blind to it. But it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat, and it doesn't matter if it's a Republican, or if there was ever an independent. It doesn't matter if it's the Whig Party. Guys, we have to stand together. We have to be one nation. Okay, and I get freedom of religion. But if you are one of the people that say under God, then you've got to act like it, brother or sister. I'm telling you, we all do. So when I like people that are progressively right down, may have opinions. Everyone's got opinions. But you can, not really persuaded as in, someone's playing the flute and you're like one of the rats following them. No. But someone who's able to evolve, someone who's able to push past, nope, this is the way it is, I know it's the way it is, and have blinders on and realize that you've got to listen. Maybe not to far leftists or far right extremists, okay, because they're out there, okay? And they're out there to cause chaos, and they just want to do bad things. And I honestly believe that there are people that want this country to fall, that literally have burner accounts and stuff that will get on there just to start fires between us. We don't need a civil war, guys. We don't need that. What we need to find is a way to fix, if we're going to have healthcare, we need to find a way to fix it. We need to find a way to work for both parties, okay? We need to find a way to, lower groceries. We need to find a way to do all these things because we need to make it affordable. Because before we can even take care of the homeless and stuff like that, our vets, we got to make sure that we're not putting more people homeless. Because the people that were, if you were living up here, you may get crushed down to here. But guess what? There were people already down here. And now they're down and out. Okay? And people get frustrated. Both sides, because they're people. And so, regardless of what side you're on, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I would be honored to defend this country or to stand up against anybody who tried to say this country wasn't great. But we've got to keep an open mind and stop trying to hurt people for having a difference of opinions. Instead, listen to them. That's the only way. You can't just kind of go in and be like, this is why you should think this way. You have to listen and figure out why people think the way that they think first. Why do you see it this way? We're not going to get into this, but why do you see abortion as good or bad? Why do you see healthcare as good or bad? I never looked at it like that. I may not agree with that, but I respect that opinion. Not doing what we're doing. Not getting on here and bad-mouthing everybody all the time. I'm not gonna lie, I want politicians that fight for all of us. I don't want one side or the other. I don't want one side or the other to hurt. Probably, most likely, if you think about it, either one side or the other, unless you're just, what you consider lucky. Maybe most of your family's one side of the aisle, and your other part of your family's on the other side of the aisle. But I've had one customer today, guys. It's 10:34. It is now 10:34 in this video. 10 minutes, 34 seconds. But that moment's passed. And all these moments have passed, and it's just sad that someone had to go and take somebody else's life because they didn't agree with them. That's what I'm saying. The first customer that came in, I knew someone was going to come in and say something, first off. I didn't know if people are going to come in and be mad or what, but customer came in and said something about it, and it's sad. Because listen, if you disagree with that guy, now he has no opportunity to ever even change his view, change his mind. He has no opportunity. If you believe in the Bible, Paul was Saul and killed Christians, right? And I'm blanking right now, but I believe Paul's the one that wanted to not be crucified on the cross at the end of time, at the end of his time, because he said he didn't want to die like his Lord because he wasn't worthy of Jesus. So I believe it with he, and guys, I may be wrong, but I know it was one of them. They crucified him upside down. We have got to be a good country. We have got to be good to one another. That's all we've got. That is all we have. Is just to give. That's all we want is hope. Every day we just hope for good for ourselves sometimes. And it's like a lot of us are in positions to actually provide a little hope for someone else, even if it's just for 10 minutes. When we don't judge, and somebody that's actually homeless gets the food that they need, instead of this just being like, well, he's probably going to buy alcohol. Help somebody. What they do with the help is up to them, but I promise if you believe in the Lord above, you'll be rewarded, and you're going to be rewarded anyways. You're going to feel great. And what goes around comes back around. I'm a firm believer of you get back what you put in, guys, because I've seen it happen in my life. I've seen it happen a lot in my life. And okay, I'm back. Sorry. But it just working here. I know that, and I told my wife, I said, I understand what cops are like, because people you really don't want to see them unless you need them, right? But whether it's the one person, when someone comes to pawn or sell something, whether it's the one person that actually needs food for themselves or their children, or medicine for their children, or gas money to get to their job, or their car broke down actually, or their house payment, or for cigarettes, for alcohol, or for drugs, or whatever, I may be the one thing standing in between them, and we don't take everything, and we don't do, it has to be something that we would sell or that would sell quick, and it's just, and, I've seen the frustration. I've been frustrated myself in life, and I see it, and it just stinks. And I don't know if you guys saw one of the videos, but we do have a giving box, and it's like, I went home just defeated the other night because there was literally a trash can 10 feet from where someone or some people or for some reason, is just after they're eating it, they're just taking the cans and they're throwing it underneath a stoop there. So I know a few homeless people that come in. I'm gonna pay one of them probably $10 to just go back there and grab the 20 to 30 cans sits under there. I think it could help somebody out and whatever, maybe for the day, but we cannot be judgmental. The reason I even say that, guys, I'm telling you about standing in the way of somebody of their money is because I just treat everybody the same. I'm not looking, I am not hardcore pawn that show where it's like, what do you need the money for? It's none of my business, I feel. I'm here for an even median, okay? Of course I need the job, but I'm here for the owner to be happy and the customer to be happy. And that makes everything work, okay? That'll keep the business going and that makes my job easier. But it's just time to stand up, to love one another. And hold on 1 second. I'm gonna unpause it, but I think they're gonna call back and then I'll repause it. Repause. Well, maybe not. Maybe they hung up on purpose. But anyways, guys, I thought it was to speak of something a little more happy. I did an order today. I'm going to get rid of a few things that I have that I don't really need. And I'm going to order a 3mm tricolor rope. I thought about a 4, but I don't. I want a 3mm 22-inch. I want to check it out on myself. I want to wear it, see what I feel about it, how I feel about it. I really like this one that I got from Ricky, and so much so that it's really killed my vibe on some of my other little chains, man, because I like it so much. And it's time, as I said, you know, when it comes to that, where can I go, you know, from here buying stuff? I feel like I've got the chains that I want. If I ever buy anything, it would be pendants. I have considered maybe having Braden make me a emerald lion, but was diamondized, you know, so it'd still be a little different, you know, because I like the diamonds for the eyes versus kind of the green. But I've had a 18 karat gold ring that I had made with emeralds, guys, and that just pops. It looks so good. So today I had a couple different options to wear. I was first going to wear my 23-inch heavy cable or heavy link in 18 karat with my 24-inch 4mm Jacoji curve in 18 karat. And then I thought, well, you know what? I kind of just want to wear a couple of these chains. So I threw on the 2mm heavy cable link, both in the yellow and the white gold, both 18 karat, with this tricolor rope, 2.3mm. And I just started thinking about today and stuff, and I really wanted to wear my cross today. I really like this look. And so this is what I'm getting at here. This is an 18 karat flooded boss cross. My wife and I, we always wore our crosses on Sunday. I have recently acquired, mine was a standard, hers was the mini. I had ordered a mini 22 karat before and a mini 18 karat flooded. And then I ended up trading that. I'd sent the 22 karat back, I believe, or sold it, but I upgraded to the standard flooded boss cross. And I had kind of thought about going back that route, but after thinking about it and looking and stuff and praying even, I'm just gonna stick with the mini. So I have the white, this is the flooded 18 karat yellow gold. I talked to my wife because, like I said, I think I'm done with the chains unless I just see something that I want to buy or I like or it's a little different. And I talked to her and I said, you know, would you ever wear just a 22 karat, you know, yellow gold cross? I said, I was going to buy one for myself, so that way if I want to wear yellow gold, you still have your flooded diamond one, because she's got the flooded script, the extra large S. She's got diamond stuff, so it's like she's solo pendant, just whatever. Anyways, so, but I was like, you know, it's something we could share, because that's kind of what we do now with this. Like, I'm obviously wearing it today, not her, but she doesn't wear it very often, just on Sundays. But I thought, man, I really want to, you know, what pendants would I get? I thought about doing my last name. I had emailed Braden about doing the mini script. I already have my daughter's name, But my last name's 6 letters, so I thought about doing yellow gold, white gold, rose gold, yellow gold, white gold, rose gold, seeing how that would work. And I know that it would cost more because of labor and stuff like that. However, guys, it's pendants, it would definitely be worth it. It's super cool. So that's what I did. I have a Lynx Resale unused 3.2 millimeter Figaro in 22 inches at 18 karat coming. I'm getting it, and I'm getting this 3 millimeter rope at 22 inches because I really like this as a storyteller. And this right here, I love this for the pendant. So I want to see the 4 millimeter rope. I want to see what this 3 millimeter 22 inch would look like above the 3.2 millimeter heavy link. And I'd like to see what it would look like, you know, just by itself even, because I don't know, you know, I know that the chain, you know, would be down here, whatever, especially guys, this is a 22 inch right here. So that's what a 22 inch looks like on me, 6'3", 232 pounds. And so I've kind of, you know, I know that the 3 will be a little bit bigger. And so this is that 2.3. And this is kind of what I was wanting, but I know that it looks really thin. And when you go back, it may look bad. However, that may be a chain that I wouldn't wear just by itself with something like this. That would be something I would wear with a jersey or underneath tucked in. And that's the thing about this 3.2 millimeter Figaro. I think it says it estimates at 9.5 grams for 18 karat. So just to be able to wear that, it's going to be something that I think that I'm going to put on, and I'm just going to try to leave it on and sleep in it and everything else and see how it goes. If I put it on right away and I just know that it's too small, or I don't really think that it's something that I will like, then of course I wouldn't do that. I would just return it probably and buy a 4 millimeter or something at that size. But I am going to let you guys go. I just wanted to say, be nice to people and enjoy your life, okay? It's short. I love you guys. Love somebody else.